Somebody already reported the dragons here?
Yes. The fellow's name was Diego. I think so, in any case. I warned him just like you. But the lunatic just wouldn't stop getting on my nerves.
I have come to get the Eye of Innos.
The Sacred Eye of Innos? How do you know about that? You're not a member of the Order.
A magician told me about it.
I don't know what his motives were when he entrusted one of the secrets of our Order to you. But he certainly didn't mean for you to get your fingers on it.
But
I don't want to hear any more about it. First you start with fairy tales about dragons, and then this. Incredible.
the townspeople are simply disappearing?
Yes, it seems to be more every day. It's most annoying that the militia have still not been able to discover what's behind these strange occurrences. Small wonder that the town's inhabitants are very wary of strangers right now. So don't provoke them when you're in town. Understood?
I hardly know who to believe these days. That's the first I've heard of it. But no, he insisted he knew better. So why won't they listen to me?
All right. Explain the rules of the city to me.
First, the Honorable Paladin Lord Hagen resides in the upper quarter, along with his troops. That is why access to the upper quarter is allowed only to honorable citizens. Second, the town hall in the upper quarter is now the command post of the Paladins. Only the Paladins themselves and members of the militia have access to it. And third, whoever is accused of a crime must exonerate himself with the commander of the militia. Any questions?
Really didn't deserve that.
How do I become a citizen of the town?
Only those with regular jobs will be considered citizens of the town. But don't think that you'll be admitted to Lord Hagen just because you're a citizen of the town. As a citizen, you have access to the upper quarter, nothing more. Only as a member of the militia will you have access to the town hall.
Wouldn't be so sure.
Someone's gonna do the work.
Where can I find work?
You'll have to apply as an apprentice to one of the masters here in the lower part of the city. As soon as a master accepts you, you are a citizen of the town. However, the other masters must agree to it. That's the custom here in Khorinis. If you were thinking about looking for work in the harbor district, forget it. The scum of the city live there. Don't even go there. You would regret it.
I can only wait and see.
And it works all day, too.
So why won't they listen to me?
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
How do I get to the upper quarter?
Say, are you listening to me at all? You're not a citizen of this town. You can save yourself the trip. The guards won't let you in. The entire area behind the inner gate is off limits to
Who
you.
says things like that?
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
He had better shut up.
Where did you pick that up then?
I can't
How do I get accepted into the militia?
By express command of Lord Hagen, only citizens of the town will be admitted into the militia.
I see.
If you want to know more, speak to Lord Andre in the barracks.
That's what I've always said.
What do I have to do to get armor like yours?
What? You aren't even a member of the militia. You're not even a citizen. How can you even think of being allowed to wear the armor of a paladin? Only a few militia soldiers, those who have performed extraordinary deeds, have been granted that honor so far. If you want to be a paladin, you have a long road ahead of you, my boy.
I knew that would be a problem.
Where can I find the commander of the city guard?
Lord Andre can be found in the barracks at the other end of the city.
Where did you pick that up then?
Where can I spend the night here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the hotel directly across from the barracks. The paladins pay for the lodging of all travelers who come to the city. The traveling traders from the marketplace are also lodged there.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
I've got to go.
If I hear one more time that you are telling people here about dragons, you will be in big trouble. Do I make myself clear?
They're bad times.
This is gonna change.
Hello, stranger. You must be hungry and thirsty. Perhaps I can interest you in my wares.
I knew that would be a problem.
I need some money, and I'm looking for work.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
That's an open secret.
What do you have to offer?
At the moment, I don't have much choice. The damned landowner doesn't deliver anymore. And what we get from the small farms isn't enough to meet the demands of the city.
If I had a secret,
Show me your wares.
honestly, I witnessed it myself.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
Who says things like that?
Tell me more about the peasants' revolt.
It's quite simple. Onar, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine, we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself. Normally, the city guard would take firm measures in such cases. But now comes the best part. They say Onar has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back. Mercenaries! The whole thing will end in a damn war, as if one war weren't enough.
What do you know about Onar's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony. And their leader's supposed to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something, whom they put away as a traitor. These are terrible times.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
I never knew that.
I don't like it so worked up.
I'd have gone about it differently.
Hey, you're new in town, huh?
Yes, and what about you?
I've come from the mainland, and now I'm hanging around here. I'm almost out of gold, so all I can do now is join the militia, I guess. But I don't want to do that. I won't be slaughtered by those orcs on the king's behalf.
What can you tell me about the militia?
One of the paladins has taken command. A certain Lord Andre. He's trying to mobilize half the city in case the orcs attack. But you need to be a citizen of the town in order to be admitted. As far as I know, if you're not a citizen, you can train anyway. But you won't be officially admitted.
What else can you tell me about Lord Andre?
He has taken over the position of judge as well. If you cause any trouble in this town,
It's quite obvious.
you're gonna have to answer to him. I was once in a brawl with a citizen. He went crying to Lord Andre and ratted me out. That little matter cost me 50 gold pieces. I was lucky that it happened at night, or others would have witnessed it. The more people complain about you in this town, the higher your penalty will be.
I never knew that.
Who did you fight with?
With a fellow named Valentino. He often hangs out in the tavern near the temple. I'm not usually a violent person, but that guy needed his face rearranged in the worst way.
Has anything exciting happened?
You could say that. They robbed Bosper the bowmaker. What a brazen thing to do, I tell you. The fellow just ambled into the shop in broad daylight and grabbed himself a bow. And Bosper right after him, hollering, "Stop right there, you rogue!" But the thief was too fast.
I can't believe that.
gave unto it a portion of his divine power, so that it might destroy the land. Adanas be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adanas, the guardian of the divine and earthly equilibrium. What can I do for you?
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? Indeed. This is an important message you're bringing me. I wonder how you got hold of this letter.
I got it from Cavalorn, the hunter.
Cavalorn? Where is he?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point. Whatever he meant by that.
I see that you have gained Cavalorn's trust. That speaks in your favor.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why would I do that?
Cavalorn sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people.
Aha. So, you want to join us, son?
I want to join the Ring of Water.
You do? Now, that means you have already fulfilled the first requirement.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there must be someone among us who trusts you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know about it. But I know nothing about you at all.
What do you want to know?
Well, you could tell me where you come from and why you have come to the city.
I carry an important message for the leader of the Paladins.
What is this message?
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons and determined to conquer the country.
Dragons? You speak of beings which until now have only been mentioned in legends. How do you know this?
Zardas, the magician, told me. He sent me to warn the Paladins.
The necromancer. So he lives, and he sent you. Who are you really?
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Khorinis.
Good. Let us summarize. You are a former prisoner who has been told by Zardas, the necromancer, that dragons have come to conquer the country. And you have come to report this to the Paladins. That all sounds rather fantastic, but I cannot perceive that you are lying to me. Therefore, I must assume that your motives are honorable. I want to give you a chance to join the Ring of Water.
What must I do in order to join the ring?
Know that you take on great responsibility by joining the ring. I do not let just anyone join who comes to us and asks. If you want to join the ring, you will have to prove that you act like one of us.
And that means...
Before we let a young man join our ranks, he must have done a great deed for the ring. Only then can I begin to consider letting you help preserve the balance of forces on this island.
I have vanquished the Sleeper. Isn't that a great enough deed?
My ears hear many a tale these days, including the story about the banning of the beast called the Sleeper. I have not heard that this was achieved by a single man, although your eyes tell me that you are convinced you did this. That confuses me slightly, but I cannot be sure that my senses might not deceive me sometimes.
I have freed many people. The barrier is gone.
Even if you can really claim responsibility for that, the great event in the Valley of Mines has not only set free the water mages and other upright citizens. All the criminals of the entire country are roaming Khorinis these days, harassing the population. The bandits have already taken over large areas of land outside the city. It has become all but impossible to leave the town and return unharmed.
So what would be an appropriate deed that might convince you?
Khorinis is facing a great enigma these days. The number of people missing from the town seems to increase almost daily. If you can explain to me what happened to them, you shall have your place within the Ring of Water. However,
Yes?
you should take your message to the Paladins first. I consider it a matter of utmost importance. Talk to Lord Hagen.
But Lord Hagen is not going to receive me.
Yes, he will, no doubt about it, provided you become a member of a powerful community first. The ring has far-reaching connections. We shall assist you in conveying your message as soon as possible. You should talk about this to Laris, whom I trust. He will help you.
What community should I join?
There are only 3 communities that have enough influence. These are the City Militia, the Monastery of the Fire Magicians, and the troop of mercenaries on the landowner's farm. The choice is yours, son. Laris can certainly assist you with this difficult decision. Talk to him about it.
I shall do that.
Wait, if you see Laris, give him this ornament and tell him that it needs to be returned. He'll know what to do with it.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Someone's gotta do the work.
Ah, fresh face. You're not from Khorinis, are you? This is not a good time for travelers. Bandits everywhere, no work, and now the farmers have risen up too. What winds have blown you here?
I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about carpentry?
The only thing I can make out of wood is a fire.
And what about locks?
Well...
I'm sorry, but I can't use you if you know nothing about my trade. And I have no money to pay for an apprentice.
What if I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the other masters here?
All right, I shall give you my approval. But you had better get yourself the blessing of the gods first. Say, are you a man of faith?
Yes, a most humble servant, Master Thorben.
Then go to Vatras, the priest of Adanos, and have him give you his blessing. He will tell you where you can find a priest of Innos. You should get his blessing too. Once you have received the blessing of the gods, I shall vote for you.
So, you know a lot about locks.
What good is a fine chest without a fine lock? I make my own locks. That way, I can at least be sure I haven't built my chest that sturdy for nothing. A poorly made lock is easy to break. And there are plenty of thieves about in Khorinis, especially lately.
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
I don't know whether you can be trusted or not. For all I know, you might be one of those layabouts who only come to town to empty the chests of honest people. I'm not going to teach you anything before I'm convinced that you're an honest fellow.
Can you sell me some lockpicks?
Well, all right, but they won't be of any use to you as long as you don't know how they work.
Have you had an apprentice before?
Yes, and not too long ago.
And what happened?
His name is Elfrich. He's my nephew. I was quite pleased with him, actually, but one day he simply didn't show up for work.
Have you reported that to the militia?
Of course I have. They were supposed to catch him and see to it that the lazy bones does his work, but I already regret that. He can do whatever he wants. Sooner or later he'll realize he'll get nowhere in Khorinis without a decent job.
Is that so? Where is Elfrich now?
How would I know? He kept hanging around that filthy brothel by the harbor. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still warming the bed of some whore down there.
How long has it been since you saw him?
I guess it must be about 2 weeks.
What do you know about the Paladins?
Not much. They arrived by ship 2 weeks ago from the mainland. Since then, they have withdrawn to the upper end of town. Nobody here really knows exactly why they have come. Many are afraid of an attack by the orcs. I suppose, however, that they are here to quell the farmers' rebellion.
Do you know anything about the Peasants' Rebellion?
Rumor has it that Onar, the landowner, has hired mercenaries to keep the king's troops from breathing down his neck. He was probably tired of having to throw his harvest along with his livestock at paladins and militia. All we notice of this in town is that the food prices keep rising. Onar's farm lies far to the east of here. We wouldn't know if there's any fighting going on there. And if you want to know more, ask the merchants in the marketplace. They get around the island more than I do.
Hey! I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. Brian will have finished his apprenticeship soon, and then he'll leave the city. Are you good for anything?
If you mean, do I know blacksmith's work?
No, that's not what I meant. Sooner or later, the orcs are going to lay siege to the city, and then the only men who will count will be those who are in a position to defend our city. And I won't take on anyone as an apprentice who will disgrace me by fleeing the city with the women and the good-for-nothings, instead of holding the fort here with the men.
I'm not a good-for-nothing.
Those are big words. Can you back them up with big deeds?
What are you getting at?
Bring me an orc's weapon. Orcs have been seen near the city. With a bit of luck, you won't have to search for long. If you manage to bring one down, I'll take you on as an apprentice, provided the other masters agree.
Do you sell weapons too?
Forget it. Everything I make goes to the paladins or the militia. I have a commission for 100 swords from Lord Hagen. He wants to equip the city guard.
Can I sign on as an apprentice with a different master?
The other masters may well approve, but I will only give you my approval when you first prove that you're good for something.
I've heard a thing or two. That's the first I've heard of it.
Hey, what do you want? I'm not giving anything away.
I knew that would be a problem.
I'm looking to become an apprentice.
Really? And with whom are you going to sign up?
You didn't get that from me.
I want to sign up with one of the other masters.
You have come to ask my approval? As far as I'm concerned, you can sign up with whoever you like.
Can I sell you some herbs?
If you have any to offer.
Hey, you! What if I... Yep.
Welcome to my shop, stranger. I am Basper. I craft bows and trade in furs. What brings you to Khorinis?
I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago. Do you know anything about hunting then?
Well...
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
What if I want to sign on with one of the other masters?
Balderdash. Harrod and Matteo already have apprentices. Constantino the alchemist is a loner, and he hasn't taken an apprentice in years. And as for Thorben, everyone knows he's dead broke. He probably couldn't even pay it. I, on the other hand, have an urgent need of an apprentice, and I pay well too. But no matter where you want to sign on, you need the approval of all other masters from the lower part of town.
Will I get your approval to sign up with a different master?
All right. You shall have my approval, but on one condition. Work for me, at least for a short time. That way, you can find out for yourself whether you like my craft or not. And who knows? Maybe you'll end up liking it, and you'll stay with me. If you're good enough to sign on with me, you're also good enough for all others here.
What do you want me to do for you?
I will teach you how to skin an animal, and you will bring me, let's say, 6 wolf skins. Then I'll know that you have learned your trade. If it doesn't take you forever, and if the skins are in acceptable condition, I will take you on if you like. Or, you can start with one of the other masters, if that's what you really want.
Why did your apprentice give up his job?
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Khorinis tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
I've heard that someone stole from you.
Who told you that? Probably Bartok, huh? Didn't he have anything better to tell you? Oh, well. Let me tell you, if I get hold of this bastard, he can say his prayers. I left the shop for only a moment. When I came back, I could only just see him leave, with my bow on his shoulder. I called the guards right away, but the lowlife ran towards the harbor, and they lost him there. I lit a bonfire under their asses then, and they searched the entire harbor district, but they didn't find a thing. Those bumbling lackeys. I bet my bow is still in town somewhere. I informed the guards on both city gates, and they haven't seen anyone leave with my bow. When I get my hands on that bastard...
I need to get into the upper quarter.
Where the paladins are? Forget it. You need to be a respected citizen here, or at least hold a decent job. As a stranger, you stand no chance of getting in.
Teach me how to skin animals.
Right. Listen, It's quite easy, really. You take a sharp blade and cut open the animal's belly. Then make a few small incisions on the inside of the legs, and you can peel off the skin. Bring me the wolf skins and we shall see.
Show me your wares.
What can I do for you?
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in stock. Double-hardened armor of snapper leather, still unused. Interested?
What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
The paladins seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
What? What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
I don't see why I should even try.
You're probably right. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them that a ship full of orcs just anchored in the harbor, they'd send you away. Because they have their orders.
So can you help me get into the upper quarter?
It seems to be really important to you. The question is, how important is it to you?
What are you getting at?
I can help you. After all, I'm one of the most influential people here. But it'll cost you.
How exactly can you help me?
Quite simple. I'll use my influence to see to it that one of the master craftsmen here takes you on as an apprentice. As such, you'll practically be a citizen of the city and can enter the upper quarter. Besides which, you'll earn something while you're at it.
Where could I sign on as an apprentice then?
Basically, with any master here on the main street. That would be Harrod the smith, Bosper the bowmaker, Thorben the carpenter, or Constantino the alchemist. One of them is bound to take you on. But it's important that the other masters agree. That's always been the custom here in Khorinis.
How do I get the approval of the other masters?
You just have to convince them. Go and talk to them. But if more than one of them is against you, you don't stand a chance. So behave yourself.
Why don't you take me on as an apprentice?
I would, but the other masters wouldn't agree. I just recently took on another apprentice.
Is there another way to get into the upper quarter?
Perhaps. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
What are you asking for your help?
100 gold pieces.
You shark.
Take it easy. It isn't your gold I have in mind.
But...
in principle, it's my gold. Gritta, the carpenter's niece, hasn't paid what she owes me in ages. But the little brat is constantly running around in new clothes. That means she has the money. I'd like to beat it out of her. But Master Thorben, the carpenter, is also a very influential man. Get me the money and I'll help you.
Where can I find this Gritta?
Like I said, she's the carpenter's niece. His house is down the street, the last house on the right before the smithy.
Hey, you, wait. You look familiar to me.
What do you want?
I've seen your face before somewhere, right? Here, we found this picture on some bandits we picked up a few days ago. It looks a lot like you. Apparently, those guys were looking for you.
Gee, I'd never have thought of that myself.
Very funny. What did those guys want from you?
Ask them yourself. You've got them safely locked up, haven't you?
No, they're dead.
I guess we'll never know then.
If you're in some kind of trouble, go talk to Lord Andre. Maybe he can help you. You'll find him in the barracks.
Wait a minute. What do you know about the bandits?
They've all come from that blasted mining colony. But there are several splinter groups. Some are holed up in the mountains, and others have joined up with Onar, the landowner. But it's the bandits outside of town who cause the most problems. They're the reason that none of the merchants venture beyond the city gates now.
Where did the bandits who had my wanted poster come from?
We picked them up near the landowner's place, but they didn't look like Onar's people. I think they're part of a smaller group which is holed up in the mountains near Onar's farm. But if you intend to go there, let me warn you, those cutthroats make short work of everyone.
I'll remember that. How's the situation?
At the moment, it's quiet. Only the bandits outside the city are causing us problems.
New in the city, huh? I'm Brian. I'm Master Harrod's apprentice.
What's it like to be the smith's apprentice?
Why do you ask? You want to be my successor?
Maybe.
Why not? I'm almost done with my apprenticeship, and then I'm gonna leave the city. But not because of Harrod. He is a good master. I've learned a lot from him.
Why do you want to leave this town?
Because the people here are getting on my nerves above all the other masters. I still remember what a fuss it was getting accepted as an apprentice with Harrod. Really, every one of them jokers had something to say about it. I want to decide for myself who I can or can't take as an apprentice.
He'd better shut up.
Who are the other masters?
Well, there's Thorpen the carpenter, Bosper the bowmaker, Constantino the alchemist, and Matteo. He sells armor, but first of all, he's a merchant. All the masters have their houses here on the street, and Constantino's shop is in the underpass to the temple.
Tell me more about Master Harrod.
He's not in a very good mood right now. A few days ago, the paladins came and ordered him to forge some swords for them. They've even forbidden him to sell swords to anyone else. Now he slaves day and night to finish the job as quickly as possible.
Can I buy weapons from you?
Not really, I'm merely an assistant. The weapons that are made in this smithy are collected by the militia and taken to the towers where they're stored. But if it has anything to do with forging, maybe I can help you.
That's the first time.
What can I get from you?
I can sell you some steel billets.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
I can't believe that.
That was no big deal.
Can I get a drink here?
If you have gold, you can even eat here if you like.
Show me your wares. And how's business going?
Ah, don't remind me. Lord Andre is serving free beer at the Gallows Square. Hardly anybody comes here now. except for the rich people from the upper quarter.
What's wrong with them?
Yeah, some of those swells could really get on your nerves. Take that Valentino, for instance. I can't stand the sight of him. But I can't pick my customers. I need every coin I can make. What little I had managed to save has been stolen, along with all my silver.
You've been robbed?
Yep, some time ago. It was still rather crowded that night, and I was doing the rounds serving beer. I wasn't gone long from behind the counter, but it was long enough for those bastards. I went to see the militia about it. They couldn't find a thing, of course. Yeah, they prefer to get plastered on free beer.
Tell me about the missing townspeople.
I heard that a lot of them went missing down by the harbor. Small wonder with all that's going on down there. Even Thorben, the carpenter in the lower part of town, has lost his apprentice. Hakon, one of the merchants in the marketplace, had an especially strange tale to tell. He said that there was this fella that he used to bump into every day, and then suddenly he vanished off the face of the earth. He even went to see the militia about it. Townspeople all pretty much panicked after that. I don't know what to make of it. I think it's all nonsense. Khorinis is a rough city, and many dangers lurk outside her gates. Those who don't stay within the city walls will be attacked by bandits or eaten by wild animals. Yeah, it's that simple.
What is it with this Valentino?
He's filthy rich and has no need to work. And he brags about it to everybody, whether you want to hear it or not. He drinks a lot and always stays until the end, and then early in the morning he totters back to the upper quarter. It's the same every day.
What do I have to do to get into the upper quarter?
Well, you need to be a citizen of the town. Go find some work, preferably with a craftsman in the lower part of town. That'd make you a citizen. Well, and if that's still not enough, go talk to Lord Andre at the barracks. Maybe he'll let you join the city guard. He can go into the upper quarter, too.
Really didn't deserve that.
Due to the general situation, the forest and wilderness...
Hey you, I have a proposition for you.
What do you want?
I want my old stall in the marketplace back. Sarah snatched it away from me, but she has had that spot long enough. I want her to give up the stall.
And what's my part in this?
I will give you a letter to stick in her pocket. Then you go to Andre and tell him that Sarah is selling weapons to Onar. She lands in prison. You pocket the bounty, and I get the stall. You have 2 days to accomplish this.
What's in it for me?
When I have the stall, you will get a weapon from me, and a damned good one.
That's what I've always said.
What will happen if I refuse to do that?
That would be truly stupid of you, because you see, I know that you're an escaped convict. If that gets around, it could do considerable harm to your situation in the city.
All right, looks like I've got no choice.
You're a clever lad. Here is the letter.
How am I supposed to force the letter on her?
Let her show you her wares, and while she does, you hide the letter on her. And bear in mind, I am an influential man in the city, so don't try to play me for a fool.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
Ah, customer, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for a room.
Ah, you're in the right place then.
One of the paladins told me that I could spend the night here for free.
Yes, yes. Just go up the stairs. We still have 1 or 2 beds free.
Why do the paladins pay for everything?
I don't know what that's all about either. For one thing, I think they want to get all the poor suckers off the streets so they don't make any mischief. And for another, they want to get on the good side of the traveling traders. Now that the farmers are rebelling, we have to rely on the traders for provisions. Besides, I think they want to improve the morale in the city a bit. Lord Andre has even arranged for free beer to be given out at the Gala Square.
Who's staying here at the moment?
Almost all of them are traveling traders from the market.
Aha!
Don't even think about messing with their stuff. I don't want any trouble here.
I have a few questions about the city. Tell me about the town.
Khorinis is one of the wealthiest cities within the kingdom, even if it doesn't look like it at the moment. But since the Orc War started, trade has almost come to a complete standstill. The king has requisitioned the entire merchant fleet for military service, which means that hardly any ships come into the harbor now. So, the supply of goods is very scarce now, and many citizens of the town are very worried. Nobody really knows what the future will bring. There's basically nothing we can do but wait and see what happens. It's not like we can change anything.
Where can I buy something around here?
The market is directly in front of the door. You should be able to find everything there. There are a few more shops and craftsmen on the other side of town. Most of them are near the other city gate. Also, there's a fishmonger in the harbor district. His shop is right at the harbor. He's easy to find.
Hey, you! How's it going?
You're not from around here, are you? Never mind. Neither am I.
Where did you hang around before?
In the woods, hunting scavengers and wolves, together with some hunters. But I gave it up. These are dangerous times. There's a lot of riffraff running around out there.
Where can I find the other hunters?
We had our camp outside near the tavern, halfway to Onar's farm. But I don't know whether there is anyone left in the camp now. There used to be 2 of us here in town, until a few days ago. My friend Trokar is an excellent hunter.
Bosper said you used to work for him.
Yes, I did, but he was only interested in his blasted hides. I told him how dangerous it's gotten out there. He didn't really listen to me. Well, anyway, he paid well. I can't complain about that.
Can you tell me anything else about him?
Bosper had one of his bows stolen recently, in broad daylight. Some guy just waltzed into his store, took a bow, and left. The thieves are getting more and more brazen.
Can you teach me something about hunting?
I can teach you how to sneak properly and how to handle a bow.
So, where is your friend Trokar now?
Well, it's a curious story. Only a few days ago, we were both standing at the bar in Corrigan's tavern, discussing the hunt. Don't ask me what happened next. I had had a few by then. I vaguely remember Trokar saying that he was going out to get a few swampweed reefers. He never came back.
Where does one get swampweed reefers?
Somewhere down at the harbor, as far as I know.
Didn't you go looking for him?
No, but I reported it to the militia. But they haven't been able to find him yet. I hope he didn't get attacked by a wolf, or worse. I'm afraid that I'll stumble over his body someday when I'm out hunting. I don't think I could bear that.
Why don't we go hunting together?
With 2, it isn't so dangerous, that's true. Do you know anything about hunting then? I mean, do you know how to skin an animal?
Yes.
All right, but I want to see 50 gold pieces. For that, you can keep the skins and sell them to Bosper. That's a fair deal, isn't it?
Here they are. Let's go hunting.
All right, follow me. Outside the south gate is a wood where we should find more than enough critters. Probably more than we'd like.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis, by the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree.
But so great was the wrath of Beliar that he came across the land and chose the beast. And Beliar spoke to it, and the beast became his subject.
Really didn't deserve that.
That was obvious all along.
I've got my own opinion
Nothing to be had there.
All right, so much for you, Philip. All right. So much for you, filthy beast.
Nothing to plunder. Nothing there. Nothing to plunder. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there.
So, what do you think? Should we go farther into the woods or not?
Let's go on.
All right. Let's hope this works out. Another one of those things.
Nothing to be had there.
That's it, I'm going back to the city. It's just too dangerous out here for me, even with two of us.
An orc, right outside the city. Holy shit.
So, see ya. You can sell the skins to Bosper.
was just like you said.
That's been known a long time.
I can't go on like this forever.
What do you want?
I've got the orc weapon you wanted.
Show me. It's been a while since I've had a weapon like this in my hands. I was a soldier back in the Orc War. Those were tough times, I can tell you. I didn't think you could do it. I'm impressed.
Can I sign on as an apprentice with a different master?
You're a good man. I'll give you my approval. Brian will still be here for a while, and a strong lad to take his place will turn up in time.
I must be crazy. What are you doing here?
Hey, Larish, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
You don't say.
Of course I remember Lee.
I got out of the colony with him then, just after the barrier was destroyed. He and his boys are now on the farm of Onar, the landowner. He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm, and Onar feeds them in return.
I must talk to the Paladins, by any means.
What do you want from them?
They've got a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos. I must have it.
And you think they'll give it to you? You'll never get into the upper end of town.
I'll find a way somehow.
Sure. If you want to ingratiate yourself with the citizens or play errand boy for the militia.
Tell me more about Lee and his mercenaries.
What do you want to know?
How do I find the landowner's farm?
It's quite simple. You leave the seaport by the east gate and then follow the path towards the east. I can take you there if you want.
Tell me more about the mercenaries.
Well, if you're as tough as you were back then, you shouldn't have any problems with them. Most of them are ruffians, and if you can't stand up to them, you won't get far. If you're squeamish, you don't have a chance of joining them.
Why aren't you with Lee and his mercenaries?
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want the ship to sail without us.
What ship were you talking about?
It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here.
Who says things like that?
But that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him, he's got plans.
Everybody knows by now.
Do you know why the Paladins are here?
Nobody knows for sure. Lots of people think it's because of the orcs, but I think there's another reason. It probably has something to do with the old penal colony.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. I can help you become stronger and more dexterous if you like.
He can't keep anything to himself. Honestly, I...
Teach me something.
That's not what my husband thinks. That's an open secret.
Good. Your strength has increased.
Vatras sent me. He told me to come to you when I needed help.
So you've already been to see Vatras? You must have made a lasting impression on him. Otherwise, he certainly wouldn't have volunteered my name. Especially not since the matter with those missing people still hasn't been resolved. Tell me what you need.
Vatras gave me this ornament to bring to you. He said it is to be taken back.
Of course. It's up to me, as usual. I might have known. I'll have to walk halfway across the island to take it back to the water mages.
That's not what I heard.
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I can't talk about that. Vatras would have my head.
I could take the ornament there for you.
I think I had better take it there myself. But you could come with me. Only, I can't leave here at the moment. I need to keep an eye on the harbor.
That's not what I heard. These are bad times. That's what I've always said.
So what's your business with Vatras?
I've got this little agreement with the water mages, you see.
What kind of an agreement?
We work for them, and they see to it that our past in the penal colony doesn't get us into trouble.
You're talking about the Ring of Water?
You've heard of it?
And it's gonna get
Vatras told me about it.
You might have mentioned that right away.
He'd better shut up.
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I'm doing what we all do. I fulfill the tasks the water mages give me. Some of the missing people were fishermen. They disappeared along with their boats. That's why I'm standing here, watching the harbor. Maybe something will happen yet. But you could help me. Listen, I shall give you my aquamarine ring. It signifies that the bearer belongs to the Ring of Water.
Everybody knows by now.
If you wear my ring, the rest of us will know that you're acting on my behalf. Get someone to take over my duties so that I can take the ornament back. One of us is always keeping an eye on the marketplace, but I don't know whose turn it is. You had better go talk to all those standing around there. Once the right man sees my aquamarine ring on you, he will let you know. Tell him to see to it that somebody else takes over here at the harbor.
Someone's gotta do the work.
You don't say.
That's typical. He had better shut up.
Tell me more about the Ring of Water.
The ring is to the water mages what the paladins are to the fire magicians. But, unlike the paladins, we operate in the background. The ring is a mighty weapon in the battle against the dangers that threaten the people of Khorinis. But this only works as long as we keep the identity of all those secret who belong to the Ring of Water. So keep this to yourself.
Sure.
These are bad times.
I want to join the Ring of Water.
That's fine with me. But the decision about whether you will be accepted or not lies with the water mages alone.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
What did you do to impress the water mages?
I protected them for a long time when we were still living with the barrier, and they have plenty of reason to be grateful to me.
What's it like to belong to the Ring?
We are very different from the usual communities you can join here in Khorinis. Once you're one of us, we're not going to ask anything of you that you are not ready to do. The only thing we truly require of you is to keep quiet. We work in secret and do not want to let outsiders know who our members are. We shall keep an eye on you. Everything else remains to be seen.
I see. About those missing people. Tell me what you know.
The first was William, one of the fishermen here in Khorinis. One day he simply didn't return. At first we thought that one of those sea monsters out there had eaten him in his boat for breakfast. But not too long afterwards, other people started disappearing from the town and the surroundings. Pretty random events, though. Everyone's at a loss so far. The way it looks, we'll just have to wait until we finally stumble across a clue.
Isn't this a case for the militia?
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have just vanished into thin air.
Vatras said you could help me join a community.
Getting tired of being the underdog, are you? All right, I see your point. I can exert my influence with the mercenaries if you want to join Lee. And I'm sure we can find a way to get you into the monastery soon. But the easiest thing would certainly be for you to join the militia. Which community do you prefer?
The militia.
Yes, I can imagine you'd like that, eh? read the law to other people while you're pocketing their purses. The Paladins have set up their provisions store by the harbor. Their provisions master is a good friend of mine. Maybe he can do something for you. His name is Martin.
That's not what my husband thinks.
Anything from me.
That's terrible.
I used to say that myself. Only in us decides which way.
That was obvious.
Hey, you have no business up here. Only paladins and those of us in the militia have access here.
What's up here, then?
This is the provisions store of the Royal Guard of the Paladins. I am the provisions master here, and I'm responsible for seeing to it that none of the paladin stuff goes astray, and you're not wanted here. So keep your hands to yourself or I'll chop them off.
Can you sell me any of the paladin stuff?
You want to buy? Let's say that if you could compensate me for the trouble that will arise from the paladin's things wandering off, then we might be able to do business.
Does that happen often? Things going astray?
As long as the provisions master says that everything is right, no.
I see. All the crates still there?
Don't touch anything or I'll call the watch. Got it?
What do you have to offer?
Then pay attention.
Laris sent me. He said you could help me.
So, he did. Then fire away. What do you want from me?
I want to join the militia.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? We don't just take on ragbags like you for no good reason. You'd probably have to.
Spare me the drivel. Tell me what I have to do to join you.
Okay. Then pay attention. The job of the provisions master is hell, let me tell you. Managing all the crates and sacks in this place is bad enough, but every time I spend an evening in Cardiff's tavern, someone busies himself with the crates here, and when I come back the next morning, something is missing. Strangely enough, the paladins never see anything. I'm going crazy. I can't spend the entire night standing around here like an idiot. You, on the other hand...
I get it. I'm supposed to keep watch here while you hang around in the tavern.
Take it or leave it.
Things I can tell you.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Nobody wants to know.
That's not what I heard. That's an
That's not what I heard. So problem solved itself.
You listen to the wrong people.
Better watch out.
Hey, I don't know you. What do you want here? Are you headed for the tavern?
You don't have to ask me.
Ah, so this is the harbor watering hole. And there I was, taking it for the governor's palace.
Hey, cut out the bad jokes, Runt. Otherwise you'll be chewing the cobblestone.
Better watch out.
Are you trying to make trouble for me?
Sure, I'm a master at making trouble. So defend yourself, Runt.
They're smashing.
Show him! Show him! Show him! Hit him! Show him! Show him! Show him! Show him!
Not bad at all.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
How are things?
If you want something to drink, you'll have to order it.
I bet you overhear a lot of things.
So what's that to you?
I've always got an open ear for news.
Have you got your purse open then? Every piece of information I give you will cost 10 gold pieces.
I'll give you no more than 5 for your information.
What? 5 gold pieces? Are you trying to ruin me? Let's make it 7.
No, it doesn't work that way. Let's say 6.
You're a scoundrel, you know that? Well, if you insist, let's say 6 gold pieces for each piece of information.
I need information. Who counts among the influential citizens in this town?
You won't find anyone down here at the harbor. The only powerful man here is Lamar. The moneylender is not very popular, but he has gold, and other influential citizens owe him money. The merchants and craftsmen also have a lot of influence. Too much, if you ask me.
Who's in debt to Lamar?
If you want to know that, you should take a look in his ledger. Only it might be pretty difficult to do that without him noticing. As far as I know, he always carries it with him.
Where can I find work?
You're not likely to find work down here at the harbor. You need to go to the craftsman in the lower part of town for that. But if you wield a decent blade, you could go challenge Ulrich. He fights for gold behind the warehouse.
What do you know about the missing citizens?
All I know is that some people have vanished during the last few days. It's especially bad down here at the harbor, they say. Maybe you should ask around here a bit. There were some cases in the lower part of the city, too. If you want to know more, you should talk to Corrigan. He has his tavern in the lower part of town, and he's likely to hear a thing or two. Halvor, the fish merchant down by the quay, might know something too. Many people frequent him.
Who can teach me something here?
There are a few competent people here in the harbor district. Carl the blacksmith is a sturdy fellow. I'll bet he can show you how to get stronger. Ulrich knows a lot about fighting, and Lars is a cunning rogue. He's down here at the harbor sometimes as well. And if you're crazy enough to go see old Ignaz, he knows all about Almich potions.
Where can I find all these people?
Oh, boy, the king will have won his war against the orcs before I've done explaining that to you. Just look around the harbor district and you're bound to find them. And if you don't know your way about, go to Braham and buy yourself a map. He's easy to find. His hut is right next to my tavern. I should have charged double for that one.
Is there any special work to be had around here where I could make some quick money?
Something special, you say? Go talk to Nagur then. Maybe he can help you.
Got anything special for me to do?
I've got something for you, but that should only interest you if you're a man of versatile talents.
What have you got?
Well, Zorus, the potion vendor in the marketplace, currently has a guest, Darren the fire magician.
And?
He had a new chest made specially for him by Thorben the carpenter. They say that this Darren has bought a bunch of valuable stuff with him. But you didn't hear that from me, understand?
Give me something to drink.
Hey!
I want to sign up with you as an apprentice.
With me? No! I have already had the dubious pleasure once of grappling with an apprentice. That's quite enough for me. I invested several years in his education, and in the end, the poor fool up and poisoned himself. Go sign up with one of the other masters.
What will I have to do to become your apprentice?
I couldn't bear yet another dilettante on my conscience. There is a multitude of herbs out there. Used in different variations, they develop the most diverse effects. You probably don't even know half of them. Here. This is a list of the most important plants. Bring me a plant of each kind, and I might reconsider taking you in as an apprentice.
Show me your wares. I'm asking your blessing.
Why should I give you my blessing, stranger?
I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the masters in the lower part of town.
Go with the blessing of Adanos, my son.
Where can I find a priest of Innos?
The best thing would be to look around the marketplace. You will find an emissary of the monastery there.
I am Hacketh, the weapons dealer. Every man should carry a weapon these days, especially when venturing outside of the city walls.
Tell me more about the area around the city.
It's gotten too dangerous out there, because of the bandits for one thing, and also on account of wild beasts. Even the animals don't seem to get enough to eat in these crappy times. They're venturing closer to the city all the time.
Do you know anything about the paladins?
Yes. Those guys are ruining my business. All you can buy in this entire town is a short sword at most. They've helped themselves to anything that's longer than 1.5 feet. In return, I now get to live in the hotel free of charge.
Where do you get your weapons from?
Harad the smith has been my supplier up to now. Now all he does is make stuff for the paladins. He works for those guys day and night like a madman, without pay. He thinks it's his duty. All I can offer you now is my remaining stock.
Everybody knows by now. Who says things like that?
What do you know about the disappearances of the citizens of Khorinis?
I have seen many pass through the eastern city gate. Some of those who came I had never seen before in my life. And many of those who went out never came back. But what happened the other day was really quite strange. There was this fellow who came here. I think his name is Joe. He bragged that he would soon come into some serious money. He claimed that he knew how to get into one of the city towers, where the militia keep their arms. I haven't seen him since. even though I used to bump into him around the same time every day. I reported this to the militia. I thought that maybe he had been caught and thrown into the dungeon. But Lord Andre had no idea what I was talking about. He didn't even know the fella.
What do you know about the bandits?
What do I know about them? They robbed me on my way to the city. And I'm not the only one. They've been up to their tricks for quite a while. The militia tried to track them down, but without any success.
Do you know who in the militia took part in the search?
The fellow's name is Pablo. He and a few others went looking for the bandits, but they didn't find them.
Do you know where I can find Pablo?
He patrols around the city. You'll find him either at the Temple Square or in the lower part of town.
Where did they hold you up?
Near Akhil's farm. Just go out of the city gate from here. Follow the road to the right. After a while, you'll get to a few steps. The bastards came from there. I bet they have their hideout back there in the woods.
I'll deal with it.
What? You want to take on the bandits? By yourself? You're quite a good fighter, huh?
How much is the matter worth to you?
That's a dangerous business. Well, it's all right with me. I'll pay you 100 gold pieces if you defeat the bandits.
Show me your wares.
I'm Zurus, Master of Potions. Do you need an essence of healing or a magic elixir? Then you've come to the right place.
Do you brew your own potions?
No, I either get them from the monastery or I buy them from Constantino, the alchemist. If you're interested in brewing potions, then talk to him. He needs an assistant, but he's too pig-headed to hire someone himself. He's just as stubborn as a mule. He always passes me when he goes out on the east gate to collect plants for his potions.
Where exactly does Constantino gather his herbs?
He always goes through the eastern city gate here and then disappears into the wilderness to the left. He once told me that just about everything grows there, except for King Sorrel.
Has Constantino ever told you where to find King Sorrel?
I once heard him say that the stuff grows near stone circles. Near Lobart's farm. That's a farm near the other gate. There's one of those stone circles. I think it's on a hill. It used to be a grave or something.
Show me your wares.
Inos be with you, stranger. If you're looking for a good selection for the traveler, then you're in the right place. But I'm warning you, if you're planning on helping yourself without paying, I'll call the city guard.
Just a moment. Do I look like a thief?
Bah! You won't be the first one to make off with my things today.
Somebody stole from you?
I can't prove it. The fellow was damn clever. Introduced himself as Ringaru, if that really is his right name. He's been hanging around the marketplace the last few days. And every evening he gets plastered at the beer stand down the street. I bet the bastard is drinking my money. I only looked away for a moment, and my purse was gone.
I could get your gold back for you.
Oh? And why would you do that?
Well, that depends. Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
You've got the wrong man. I'm from out of town like most of the merchants in the marketplace. If you want to get into the upper quarter, go talk to the resident merchants in the lower part of town.
I want part of the gold as a reward.
First, see if you can get my purse back. Then, we'll talk about your reward.
Why didn't you call the city guard?
The guards only respond if a thief is caught in the act. And when I noticed my purse was missing, the bastard was already gone.
How much gold was in that purse?
50 gold pieces. That's quite a lot in these crappy times.
I'll see what I can do.
Be careful. If you just knock the bastard down, the city guard will get involved. Lately, things have been getting really tough here. Since the paladins came to town, the guards have been cracking down on brawlers. So think of something.
I shall. Show me your wares. Jorah says you got his money.
Damn it! I'm out of here!
Wait a minute. Gotcha.
Hey, what do you want from me? Huh?
You stole from Jorah in broad daylight, and he even saw you do it. So I've come to tell you that you're a lousy thief, and that... And now, you tell me who you are.
I'm nothing but a poor wretch, trying to make ends meet one way or another. Well, what else can I do? I can't find a job in town.
All right, I see. Spare me your whining. You had better hand over Jorah's gold now.
Here's the dough, man! But now let me go! I'll never do it again!
I should turn you into the militia.
What else do you want? I've got nothing left. Let me go, man!
Why would I want to do that?
In the city, it's always good to know the right people and to stay on their good side. I could put in a good word for you. I can't and won't say more. The rest is up to you.
Get lost and don't show your face around here again.
Oh, you won't regret this. Thanks, man.
About the thief.
Yes, how's it going? Have you caught him? And much more importantly, do you have my gold?
He got away from me.
And what about my gold? Did he get away with it?
Here's the 50 gold pieces he stole from you.
Innos be praised. There is still justice in the city.
I want part of the gold as a reward.
If it's gold you want, then hunt down the thieves and collect the bounty from Lord Andre. Now, I must get back to my customers.
How's business?
When the Paladins came, I first thought that it was a good business opportunity, but they let Herod make their weapons, and neither Hakon nor I make even one gold piece off them. Moreover, the farmers no longer supply us with food, and all the prices have gone up. It's only a small consolation that the Paladins are paying my hotel bill.
What's the problem with the farmers?
They refuse to deliver their goods. Now that the ships no longer come in, the city depends entirely on the supplies provided by the farmers, of course. And Onar, the largest farmer, has hired mercenaries to protect his farm from the city guards. Otherwise, they simply snatch the goods for themselves. But the mercenaries don't just guard Onar's farm. They come as far as the small farms outside of town to intimidate the farmers. I saw them as I was passing Akil's farm. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes now.
Where will I find Akil's farm?
If you go out of the east gate here and follow the road to the right, you'll come to a stairway. It leads up to Akil's farm. But I wouldn't go there now. The mercenaries are certainly still there.
Show me your wares.
Why are you looking so doubtful?
I see that you bear the sign of the Ring of Water.
So, are you a member too?
What if I am?
Then I would tell you that Lares wants to be relieved from his post down at the harbor.
Fine. If that's so, I'll see to it that somebody deals with it.
I see.
Have you got a job for me?
No, I already have an errand boy. Try the other merchants.
Show me your wares. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, as long as the Paladins don't have any new assignments for me, I can have myself a couple of beers here. What more could you ask?
You're working for the Paladins?
Yeah, I report to them on the situation in the city. At the moment, everything is quiet.
How are things with the orcs?
No reason to worry. We in the city guard and the Paladins have everything under control. Go home and let us do our work. We're watching over the town and its citizens. Oh.
Would you like another beer?
There's nothing better than a cool ale.
You were about to say something about the orcs.
Oh, yeah, right. The orcs are absolutely no threat to the city. They're stuck in the Valley of Mines, and the pass is held by the Paladins. Not even a meat bug could get through there.
Would you like another beer?
Well, I won't say no to a decent pint.
They've even spotted an orc outside of town.
Yeah, right. The dangerous orc outside the city. A real monster of an orc. Well, he's bound to attack the city soon. Listen, we'll kick that fat orc in his fat ass if he comes too close to the city. Got it?
I see. Would you like another beer?
A tasty bitter ale is absolutely the best. You know, you don't often meet someone who'll treat you to a beer. You're all right.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted.
How strange. It seems to me that I have met you before, traveler. Well, great are the mysteries of time and space. Oh, please forgive my rudeness, son of patience. I have not even greeted you yet. Welcome, friend. Take a seat on my humble rugs and enjoy a pipe in peace.
Who are you?
My name is Abu Jin ibn Jadir ibn Omar Khalid bin Haji al-Sharidi. I am a seer and a prophet, an astrologer and a purveyor of tobacco.
What kind of tobacco do you offer?
My pipes are filled with spicy, refreshing apple tobacco. Help yourself whenever you want, son of adventure.
Do you have other tobacco as well?
I offer only the very best tobacco. This apple plant is a symphony from my homeland, the Southern Isles. But of course, I'm always open to trying a different sort of tobacco. If somebody should succeed in producing a really good tobacco.
How's that done?
Start with my apple tobacco as a basis, and then try combining it with another ingredient. This is done at an alchemist's bench, provided you know the essentials of alchemy.
Can you make me a prophecy?
My services are yours for a modest fee, oh father of generosity.
How much do you want?
For a paltry 25 coins. I shall risk a glance through time for you. But remember, the future is always uncertain. All I can do is glimpse some fragments of time.
Tell me about the future.
All right, seeker of knowledge. I shall now enter a state of trance. Are you ready? Orcs. They are guarding an entry, an old tunnel, the Valley of Mines. Men in shining armor. A magician. Your friend is with them. He is waiting for you. Fire! An attack! A mighty creature. Flames. Many shall die. What is that? A city. Ruins. Quarhodron in Jarkandar. He is summoned. Quarhodron in Jarkandar. I'm sorry. The vision is over. There's nothing more I can see.
Where can I get apple tobacco?
I shall give you 2 portions. It is up to you, in your wisdom, to do with them whatever you want. If you crave more, then direct your steps toward Zuris, the master of potions. He produces this tobacco, and he sells it too.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted.
Hey, not so fast. Strolling about alone out here is dangerous. Where do you come from?
From the city.
Well. Then what are you doing wandering around out here, so far from the protective walls of the city?
What's so dangerous out here?
Many things. I bet you'll be yelling for my help after the next bend in the road.
Just assuming I would fall back on your help. How much would that cost me?
I am merely a humble servant of the king, and would not enjoy fleecing a helpless little citizen of the realm. But you know, if you put it like that, I wouldn't object to a little financial backing to promote our future business relationship. 10 gold coins should do for starters. What do you think?
I'll think about it.
Suit yourself. Have a nice death.
Hey, you! Nothing to plunder. About the wolfskins.
What's the matter?
I got them. Here.
Great. I knew you would be suitable for this job. Here's the pay I promised you. And what do you think? Isn't this better work than banging away at swords all day or filling little bottles in a dusty chamber?
Will I get your approval to sign up with a different master?
I had hoped you would choose me, but if that's the way you want it...
Does that mean you'll vote for me?
If none of the other masters objects, yes, but you would certainly have made a good hunter.
What are you doing here?
I'm training the boys to use a crossbow and help them become a little more dexterous.
Could you train me?
No. I only train the men in the service of the king. Nobody else. but we can always use good people. So if you want to join the militia, go talk to Lord Andre.
Menace be with you, stranger. What brings you to me?
I've got an important message for Lord Hagen.
Well, you stand before one of his men. What is this about?
It's about a sacred artifact, the Eye of Menace.
The Eye of Menace. I have never heard of it, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. If there truly is an artifact of this name, only the highest members of our order would know anything about it. In any case.
That's why I have to talk to Lord Hagen himself.
Lord Hagen receives only paladins, or those who are in the service to paladins. It is beneath his dignity to waste his time with members of the common folk.
Why are you paladins in town?
The goals of our mission are secret. I can only tell you that there is no danger for the citizens of the town. You need not worry.
About those missing people.
Just leave me alone with that. I've got other problems.
I want to take up service with the paladins.
Good. I can well use every able man here, no matter what his reasons for joining us. If you place yourself in the service of the paladins, I shall help you get an audience with Lord Hagen. However, I have my orders only to accept citizens of the town into the militia. My commander is afraid that spies or saboteurs could sneak in. He wants to limit the risk this way. Therefore, you must first be a citizen of the town. Whether this rule makes sense or not is disputable, but orders are orders.
Is there a faster way to join you?
You're really serious about this, aren't you? Good. Listen, I have a problem. If you solve it for me, I shall see to it that you are accepted into the militia. But the most important thing is, you must not breathe a word of it to anyone.
What should I expect with the militia?
Let me make one thing clear. To be a soldier of the militia means much more than strolling through the city in a uniform. It is a dirty and even bloody job. Once you are one of us, a great deal of work will be waiting for you. But it is worth it. Besides the pay, you might someday have the chance of becoming a holy warrior of Menace.
What's your problem?
Recently, there have been a number of thefts in the city. Thus far, we have not been able to capture anyone. The thieves are simply too skillful. The scum know their business. I'm sure that we're dealing with an organized gang. It would not amaze me if there were a thieves' guild in Khorinis. Find the leaders of the gang and hunt them down. Then I shall see to it that you are accepted into the militia, regardless of whether or not you are a citizen. But you must say nothing about our agreement.
Where should I start looking for the thieves?
If I knew that, I'd go there myself. I can only tell you this much. We recently turned the entire harbor district upside down and found nothing. Absolutely nothing. The people there are not very talkative, particularly if you wear the armor of a paladin. But you are an outsider. They will not distrust you so quickly. You could ask around the harbor first, but be careful. If the people there realize that you are working for the paladins, you will learn nothing.
What should I do once I've found one of the thieves?
If it's a matter of a lackey, a henchman, or some small fry, it would be best if you avoid a fight. You should rather come to me and report. I shall then see to it that the fellow winds up behind bars. The city guard could intervene in an open battle, and you would not have the opportunity of explaining to them what is going on. Furthermore, there is a bounty for every rotten apple you put behind bars. However, if you locate the leader's hideout, well, then you probably won't be able to avoid a fight. Nothing surprises me anymore. It's really not my problem.
Every inhabitant of Khorinis who is guilty of a crime is to report immediately to Lord Andre.
Hey, you're not quite as stupid as you look.
What are you cooking there?
Oh, fish soup. It's not all that tasty, but at least it's hot. You can try a plateful, if you like.
What can you tell me about the city?
Most citizens in this town are afraid of thieves. Therefore, it's not a good idea to enter strange houses. But if you're looking for a place to stay overnight, you're welcome to sleep in my hut. There's an extra bed that you can have.
Aren't you afraid of thieves?
The only valuable thing that I ever owned has already been taken. Oh, someone stole my statue of Menace.
Could you cook me some soup?
I cook for everybody. For you too, if you want. All you need to do is bring me a fish.
What do you know about the bandits who robbed Hakon the merchant?
Oh, that matter. Don't remind me. As far as we know, they're responsible for a lot of the attacks on merchants. Those rats have crawled into their holes and don't dare come out again. Once we were able to track them down and follow them, but we broke off pursuit in the woods outside the city. There's too many beasts roaming around there. It's much too dangerous. But there's one more thing. A few of the stolen goods have shown up in Khorinis.
This means that they know how they can smuggle the wares into town and sell them.
Yeah, we suspect they have a fence in the city, but we haven't been able to catch the guy yet. If you find out anything about the business, remember Lord Andre has posted a bounty for the fence.
Someone's got to do the work.
I've got my own opinion about that.
Hey, you! I've got this stone tablet. Can you tell me more about it?
Those are artifacts from the old culture, which we have been investigating for some time. There are several kinds of them. Some contain information about the history of the ancient people, and that is the kind I am interested in. Bring me all of those that you can find. I shall give you an appropriate reward.
I've got another stone tablet for you.
Great! Here, take a few potions as a reward.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
Since you are not yet a member of our community, I cannot tell you everything, of course. But I shall tell you what I may.
Who are the members of the Ring of Water, then?
I cannot tell you that until you join the ring, but you will certainly have met some of them by that time.
Where are the other water mages?
They are exploring the ruins of an old culture northeast of Khorinis. We suspect that those ruins might contain a passage to a part of the island which is as yet uncharted.
Tell me more about that uncharted area.
If you're interested in joining the expedition, I could send you to Satyrus with a letter. You can only participate, of course, as long as you're one of us.
Of course. What exactly is it that you do?
We stand between the Order of Innos and the chaos of Beliar. If one of the two sides should gain the upper hand, it will mean either total loss of freedom or deadly chaos. Therefore, we guard the balance between the two. That's what makes life in this world possible for all.
And what does that mean in concrete terms?
The fall of the barrier has evoked numerous threats. The bandits are probably the most obvious one. Not only has it become all but impossible to travel the island without being attacked, there's someone in town, too, who supports the bandits. We have found out that the bandits receive regular deliveries from a weapons merchant in Khorinis. We try to find such people and keep them from endangering the city. If you can find out anything about this, let me know.
Is there anything that could help me with my search?
You're a very persistent young man, but I actually can think of something that could make your tasks easier for you. I shall give you this ore amulet. You'll certainly be able to use it. It is an amulet of the searching will-o'-the-wisps. There are only very few of them. The will-o'-the-wisp that inhabits this amulet has very special properties. It can help you find things that normally elude the naked eye. You summon it by simply wearing the amulet. If it loses its power, or you cannot find it, simply put on the amulet again and it will reappear. The Will-o'-the-Wisp can detect weapons. It could be very helpful to you in investigating the weapons deliveries to the bandits. Treat it well, and it will never fail you.
Can the Will-o'-the-Wisp do more than that?
More than look for close combat weapons? Not unless you teach it. I think Riordian knows how to teach these beings. He is one of us, currently traveling with Satyrus. Perhaps he can tell you more.
Thank you. I shall take good care of it. About those missing people.
Yes?
Wait a minute. Well, what have we here?
Have you no manners? That's disgusting. Oh, is this filthy rabble. Haven't you a job where you ought to be? But I suppose no one would miss a down-at-heel fellow like you, hey? Well, if you had as much gold as I do, you wouldn't have to work either. But you'll never be that rich.
I see I'm gonna have lots of fun with you. I asked you who you are.
I am Valentino the Handsome, bon vivant and ladies' man. Poor in cares, rich in wisdom and gold, and the women throw themselves at me. If you have problems, keep them. I don't need them.
Looks like I'm gonna have to teach you some manners.
Doesn't matter to me. Thrash me all you want. When I get up tomorrow, I'll be fine again. But you'll have to run around with that mug of yours for life.
Do you have anything else to tell me?
Make yourself popular, never promise anything to anyone, take what you can, and watch out that you don't get into a quarrel with the militia. Or with jealous husbands, of course. They're the worst, let me tell you. Just you...
Nothing to plunder. Hey, you! How's your duty?
Oh, these boys swing their swords like farmers, but when I'm done with them, every single one of them will be a tough, hard bastard.
What's it like with the militia?
Lord Andre is our commander now. The militia used to report to the governor. He had no idea what we do here. But Lord Andre knows what he's doing. He takes good care of the men. Everyone who starts here gets some decent armor and a good weapon. And there are bonuses if you've done a good job. He pays a bounty for every criminal captured.
Can you also train me in sword fighting?
Lord Andre has ordered that we train everyone who is in a position to defend the city. But that's only true for combat training. All other kinds of training are reserved for the militia. Can you at least halfway handle a weapon?
I think so.
All right, you can start when you're ready.
What are the advantages of one- or two-handed weapons?
Quite simple. With a one-handed weapon, you're faster. That can be a considerable advantage in battle. Two-handed weapons are more ponderous. You have to fight with foresight, but you can do a lot more damage when you're hit.
Where should I start, with one-handed or two-handed weapons?
That's entirely up to you. If you specialize in only one type of weapon, you automatically learn the other at the same time. If, for instance, you're good at fighting with one-handed swords, but still a beginner with two-handed weapons, your two-handed skills will go up as well whenever you train with a one-hander. In that case, the training is more exhausting than if you train with both types of weapons. Just start and you'll soon see what I'm talking about.
Let's begin with the training.
It is one thing if you brawl with the rabble in the harbor, but when you attack citizens or the king's soldiers, I must bring you to justice. If I let you get away with it, soon everyone here will do whatever he wishes. So, you will pay an appropriate penalty, and the matter will be forgotten.
How much?
50 gold pieces.
I want to pay the penalty.
Good. I shall see to it that everyone in the city learns of it. That will restore your reputation to some degree.
Out and about so early? I'm usually alone at this time of day. But since you're already here, you might as well learn something. So pay attention. You can deceive some opponents if you dodge their blows and attack at the right moment. Remember that in your next fight.
I want to join the militia.
So? Are you a citizen of the town?
No.
Then Lord Andre won't take you. Sure, you can talk to him, but I don't think he'll make an exception for you.
The security measures for the protection of the upper quarter will be further strengthened. The guards on the gates are ordered to interpret the law in the strictest sense in order to prevent unauthorized entry.
And the sea release the land.
About the plants.
If you cannot handle that by yourself, you won't be any good as an alchemist either.
I've got all the plants I was supposed to bring you.
What? You're pulling my leg, right? By Adonos. It's all there, all right. Who knows? Maybe someday you could make a decent alchemist after all.
I want to sign up with one of the other masters.
You have come to ask my approval? As far...
Hey, you!
What do you want, stranger? If you've come to beg, I must disappoint you. I am a poor widow. My name is Greta. Ever since my husband died, I've been running the household for my uncle Thorabin.
Mateo sent me. You still owe him some gold.
He wants his money? What for? The goods he delivered were flawed, bad fabric, and bad seams. And did you look at the colors? Those are not the colors I ordered. That's fraud, that is. Let me tell you, back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband. Such a good man he was. Handsome, hardworking, a gentleman of the old school. We had it all. Wealth, happiness. Sometimes we were even invited to high society events. The festivities, all the beautiful clothes and hairdos, the fine dining and civilized conversations. Everything was better back then. No one would have dared to humiliate the heart of a poor widow with such ridiculous claims. Whatever shall I do? My pension is barely enough to make ends meet, and times are getting even rougher. One sees it everywhere. People must scrimp and save. It's been weeks since the last ship came to town. My husband was the captain of a merchant ship. Actually, he even owned the ship. From his long journeys, He always brought me presents. Exquisite fabrics from the mainland, precious spices from the southern countries. Most people haven't even heard of these things. But then, one day, I got the tidings that the Gritta had sunk. That was the name of the ship. My husband called it that out of love for me. I wept and prayed that my husband had survived the disaster. Every day I hoped to hear from him, but all my longing was in vain. May Innos have mercy on his soul. May he rest in peace. Since that time, I have been living under these modest circumstances, and now this soulless, callous Matteo is after the last bit of my life savings. Please have mercy on a poor woman. Back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband.
Cut it out. Where's the gold?
But I don't have the gold. I'm only a poor widow.
I'm gonna pay the sum for you.
You would do that for me? Oh, I knew you weren't a greedy bastard like that Matteo.
Yeah, never mind.
Come back once you've taken care of that. I want to show you my gratitude.
I met Valentino.
And?
I gave him a sound beating.
He deserved it. Here. I found this ring on him when our little disagreement had been settled. You're welcome to pass it on to the next person who beats him up.
Here's your 100 gold pieces.
You want to pay for her? I'd have preferred it if you'd squeezed it out of her. Still, 100 gold pieces is 100 gold pieces. You've held up your part of the deal.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
Don't worry. I'll keep my part of the bargain. The other masters will only hear the best about you from me.
To it, and the beast became his subject. And Beliar gave unto it a portion of his divine power.
Don't tell this to anyone.
That's what I've always said.
And he works all day, too.
What can I do for you? Are you seeking spiritual comfort? Do you want to direct a prayer to our Lord Innos, or donate some gold for his church?
I've come to get your blessing.
That's good. That's good. Then you will probably want to donate gold to the Holy Church of Innos, won't you?
Actually, I wanted your blessing so I can sign on as an apprentice in the lower part of town.
But my son, without a modest donation to the church, it is impossible for me to bless you. How else can I be certain of your good intentions toward the Holy Church of Innos?
So, how much does a donation usually run to here?
Well, that depends on what percentage you want to give, son. Let me see how much you brought. You have more than 100 gold pieces. The law says give if you have. The church accepts your generous donation. I bless you in the name of Innos, for he is light and righteousness.
Really? How interesting.
But that's terrible.
That's what I've always said.
Yeah, get out! That wasn't so hard.
Smart kid.
Smart kid.
And Innos, in his wisdom, did so.
How about your approval, Master?
Has Vatras given you his blessing?
Yes.
And did you also get the blessing of a priest of Innos?
Yes, I did.
Then you shall have my blessing as well. No matter what path you decide to take pride in doing a good job, my boy.
That's all just gossip.
I want to start as your apprentice.
Great. You seem to know the basics already. Harrod thinks you're a good man. Thorben gave you his blessing. I'm not all that pious, but I'm fine with it. Constantino says you can sign up wherever you want for all he cares. And Matteo says you're worth your weight in gold. This means you have the approval of all masters. You can work for me at any time if you want.
I'm in.
You aren't going to regret this. I think we'll be able to work together well.
What are my tasks as an apprentice?
That's easy. Bring me as many pelts as you can get. I'll pay you a better price for them than any of the other traders would give you. Apart from that, you needn't show up here in the shop. I can get along just fine by myself.
And where am I supposed to sleep?
I don't have any room for you here. They're bound to have a bed for you in the hotel at the marketplace.
I've got a few skins for you.
Wolfskin, that's good. Even a shadow beast skin. Those are worth a lot. Good work. Come see me again when you have more.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
So great was the wrath of Beliar that he came across the land and chose the beast. And Beliar... Valentino was unable to pay his bar tab last night. He was blathering something about having been robbed and paying me later on. Really?
And what did you do?
Well, I gave him a good thrashing. What else?
Here, take this ring.
What? I don't understand.
It used to belong to Valentino. You're welcome to pass it on to the next person who tans his hide.
So that he might uncover